course for Sector 10, Eastern United States.
And now we're on the world map. Or, as XCOM calls it, the geoscape.
We're ready to start making moves, Commander. By hitting Advent wherever we find them, we can help strengthen the resistance. In return, they'll contribute material and personnel to support our operations. Commander, it looks like Shen prepped a med kit for us. We should equip one of our soldiers with it before...
Alright, so enough of that. So here we have our first type of quote-unquote optional mission called the Guerilla Op.
A group of local resistance operatives working in this
These
area
usually
ambushed an
reward
Advent
several
patrol and
things.
discovered a data vault they were transporting.
It
From
can
what
be
we've heard, it looks like
anything
this thing
from
is
some
holding data
supplies,
critical
intel,
the
to
alien project we picked up on.
personnel like a scientist or
Unfortunately,
engineer.
alien reinforcements were quick to move on the site. We've lost all contact from the resistance forces. We're moving in to secure the area.
Wow, this is a
Eliminate
bad
all
start.
hostile contacts and recover the assets. Menace 1-5. We've got a bead on the Advent data vault near your position. Be advised, self-detonating charges are in place at the target. Move to disarm and extract the package before its contents are destroyed.
So again, more timed missions, more fun. This is also a good introduction to the tunnel type map. Tunnel maps, I mean, there's nothing particularly special about them, but they are a little difficult for sharpshooters in particular to work with, because sharpshooters thrive on line of sight, and there are a lot of walls in tunnel maps. So, probably not the best for sharpshooters.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. Roger, I've got my eyes on.
So here comes this enemy pod, probably gonna spot one of our soldiers. No, actually, I'm shocked. Well, let's see what we can do here, because any movement here will basically trigger their line of sight. 84%, 81%. Alright, see if you can kill this guy. Nice. 7 damage, critical, instant kill. So that leaves just that sectoid, and we're gonna chase that sectoid down a little bit. Now, I am down a grenade slot because the game really, really wanted me to take the medkit.
Position confirmed.
Which honestly has very limited use at this time, given that most of my units only have about 4 bars of health, and that's enough for them to die in one attack from most enemies. I'm really sad that you missed that. Like, really sad. Alright, so the sectoid is now down. So that wasn't the best alpha strike, which is the term used to refer to moves that essentially wipe a pod out without them getting a turn. But they still didn't get a turn. Alright, so here we have another pod that I probably triggered a little too prematurely. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think the Grenadier is going to be able to fit a grenade at such an angle where she can shred that sectoid's cover. That's not happening. So the best I can do on this turn is basically move everyone up.
I need to ask twice. Location confirmed.
So this is going to be a little dangerous because Advent troopers in particular do carry grenades.
No! What's happening?
Well, that's not great.
This isn't right! This isn't right!
So, sectoids can fail mind control. Your soldiers have a will stat, which affects their ability to resist mind controlling effects and other things, like breaking down in the middle of combat.
On the move.
Even if a mind control attack fails, your soldier will more than likely go into a state of panic, where you essentially lose control of them. And they do whatever the hell they want for like a turn or two.
Moving out.
Sectoid down.
Got him.
Position confirmed. Enemy destroyed.
And there's loot over there.
Ammo over here.
No need to ask twice.
Now, we do have to get a move on because I only have 3 turns to touch this objective thing. And, again, with the way that objectives work, I have to physically touch it in order to do something about it.
I've got eyes on an advent position.
Okay, this might work. So, we have an officer and a soldier left over. Now, I can probably flank this soldier and get rid of him. If I'm lucky with my damage roll. Nice. So that will put that soldier in a position next turn
On my way.
where he can just walk up to the
Got it covered.
objective and deal with it.
On it.
So I am a bit out of range to deal with this officer properly, so I'm unfortunately going to have to dash and take the risk of him marking and potentially wounding or seriously... Ooh, I forgot I did that. Nice damage. Wounding or seriously or killing one of my soldiers. Thankfully, he missed.
That was close.
So let's see. Yep.
On my way.
Now you may be put in a flanking position, but we still have
Might be something
3 other soldiers that can do the job. Alright, so the detonator is now disarmed, and the mission is technically a success.
Target package 1-5. Status confirmed. The charges are inactive and the package is secure.
Also,
Eliminate any remaining hostiles near the AO.
the grenades sent out by grenadiers have bigger explosion radiuses. Radii, plural.
Catch.
So they can do a lot more damage in a lot bigger area. Like I did to that guy.
Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure.
So, mission complete. The game will also rate your missions in terms of their efficacy, mainly depending on how many soldiers you got wounded or killed. If you do neither, you get a flawless mission. Doesn't mean a lot, but it's a nice pat on the back.
Excellent work, Commander. Your efforts in the field have certainly encouraged the crew.
So we got another ranger. I'm gonna give this grenadier, their first ability is gonna be Shredder. Now, blast padding would make more sense. It gives them a point of armor and 66% less damage from explosive attacks. However, given that my intention is to keep that soldier alive for as long as possible, it's very likely that if all goes according to plan, he will start to encounter enemies that are using armor, and so being able to shred that armor on a successful attack will
Now
come
that we've got some
in
help,
handy.
we can start clearing out the old equipment and debris from the ship to make room for new facilities. To clear out these rooms, first we'll need to assign
So aboard
an
the
engineer
Avenger,
to the task.
you have
Once we
these
start
12
getting into
rooms.
the far reaches of the ship, it's going to take more time and manpower to make space for new facilities. Looks good to me. Just give the word and we'll get started, Commander.
Okay, Shen's done
Excavation
talking.
is underway,
Never mind.
Commander, but it's going to take some time to get all that stuff cleared out.
Commander, we have a secure transmission coming through. Source unknown. Patching it through to your quarters.
Okay, if I may. So the NPCs like to talk a lot, and I don't want to talk over them because it's rude, and it's also hard to hear 2 people talking at once. So aboard the Avenger, you have these 12 rooms that can each slot a facility. However, before you can slot a facility in these rooms, you have to clear out all this alien junk that's just sitting around in it. Certain rooms do have more particular uses than others in terms of what facilities should be constructed there, but we'll get to that. Clearing out these rooms will also give you stuff like alloys and supplies, so it's generally best to clear out these rooms, you know, as you go along, so that you get some sort of passive income besides other sources of income that exist in the game. Duh. Alright, so let's receive this message.
Hello, Commander. The council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration. With one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the resistance from the inside. It was these Resistance operatives that provided the intel leading to your recent extraction. As of now, Resistance forces are currently somewhat disorganized. If we are to defeat Advent and their alien masters, you must change this before it is too late. What you are seeing are classified reports of missing civilians from across the world. Their numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of Resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking. Good luck, Commander.
Looks like we better get
No
started,
pressure.
Commander. I'll be on the bridge when you're ready. The Councilman has tracked the alien black site to this region. Unfortunately, we don't have its exact coordinates yet. If we're going to have any chance of finding this facility, we'll need to make contact with the local resistance cell nearby. Tygan has a theory about how we might reach out to them without getting the aliens' attention, but we'll need to give him time to conduct his research. We shouldn't wait too long on that, Commander. We have to start making contact with other regions soon if we're going to build a global resistance and take on Advent.
New objective added.
Alright, so we've got another main objective now, which is to contact the Resistance in the Black Site region.
Looks like you won't have time for that just yet, though. Remote reconnaissance may have found something not far from our current position.
Avenger
So,
plotting new course.
while you wait for stuff to pop up like Guerilla Ops and whatnot, you'll get these nodes that pop up around the map.
Commander, while we're waiting for new missions or the completion of our research, we can pass time by scanning at sites like this one. On your order, we'll start our scans of the surrounding area.
I am sure you will find the results to be as intriguing as I do, Commander. Commander, during the course of our research, we made a startling breakthrough that has led us to another potential avenue of study. However, if we are to proceed down this path, we must do so immediately, or I fear we will lose our opportunity to return to it in the future. The science is eager to begin, Commander.
Alright, so just let me catch up what happened there. Let me summarize what happened there. I finished the research. Upon finishing research, there's a chance that you'll get a breakthrough, which is like a limited time research opportunity. A lot of these breakthroughs are things like a reduced cost to build a facility or improve damage on your weapons by like 1 point. Given that they are limited, typically you have to weigh whether or not you want to take them versus doing something like, I don't know, researching the next tier of armor. What I got there was a reduced cost for the Guerrilla Tactics School, which I'm about to build. However, it's only 85 supplies, and the early game tutorial stuff isn't like entirely, it's not too strict. So that really wasn't worth taking over hybrid materials, which will start us down the path to getting better armor. Better armor means more health for the soldiers and improved survivability. So yeah, we're going to build our first facility. It's going to be the Guerrilla Tactics School. Our other options are the training center, laboratory, power relay, and infirmary, but the Guerrilla Tactics School is going to be the first build. What does the GTS do? It unlocks additional skills and benefits for our soldiers, including an increase to the number of soldiers we can take on a single mission.
We'll start work on the new facility right away, Commander. I'll send word when it's up and running.
So that would normally take 14 days with no engineers. However, with the presence of an engineer, the construction time is halved to 7 days. The only thing that research would have done, I think, is reduce the supply cost of building that facility.
We have made a number of new discoveries, Commander.
So now research is done on hybrid materials, which has unlocked the nanoscale vest, which is a consumable that gives you like 1 point of health. But it also opened the avenue
science
to
team has
plated
grown
armor.
particularly interested in this field of research, so much so that their inspiration could lead to vast improvements in our research efficiency. However, we must act fast. Despite their brilliance, they are a fickle group.
Now, despite getting this is the other thing that can happen upon successful research. Inspired research is basically research that has a reduced time. So if, for example, Resistance Communications had a 7-day completion time, the Inspiration cuts it down to 5 days. I'm not going to take this because Resistance Communications doesn't take that long to research to begin with. I'm going to start the timer on magnetic weapons, which is going to be the next tier of weaponry available to soldiers, which in turn means more damage. This is going to take a whopping 28 days, basically a whole month in-game.
I had assumed you'd make that research a priority.
However,
Commander.
we can
I'll
cut it
notify
down
you
by
as soon
recruiting
as the report is
scientists to our cause. More scientists, less research time.
You are too trusting, John. The skirmishers are Advent. Advent is the enemy. The enemy is food.
Try not to bring that up when we meet, Volk.
You take their side after all we've seen these years.
Look, I'm not exactly having drinks with them, but they did hold up their end of the bargain. What about you?
Wait and see. Volk out.
Actually think they might show up. Commander, that was Konstantin Volokov, Volk to his friends. He and his Reapers are a big part of the reason why you're standing here today. Volk may be a little rough around the edges, but he's the real deal. Heads one of 3 resistance groups operating independently from us that we consider a legitimate threat to Advent. Together, they'd make one hell of a fighting force. Too bad they hate each other. Still, we've made some unlikely progress. Volk's Reapers may have found you, but they weren't acting alone. They were tipped off by a group of Advent defectors known as the Skirmishers. No one's big on working with these guys, knowing where they came from. But you wouldn't be here without their help. Both the Reapers and the Skirmishers have agreed to suspend hostilities provided you serve as the go-between. Trust doesn't come easy between these two, so we're heading for a nice, quiet spot on neutral ground. Even so, let's not take any chances. Intel on this area is weak, and we're picking up strange chatter on comms. Not to mention we're ending a decade-long blood feud today. I'd advise our soldiers to be fully prepared before we deploy on this one, Commander. Good luck.
So that cutscene always amuses me, because the meeting ground is shown as being in South America, but it can be literally anywhere on the map.
Our contacts are going to wait for us, Commander. So I'd recommend we proceed as soon as possible. All available soldiers are standing by to deploy. Each faction has agreed to allow a 2-person squad to escort them to the rendezvous point. Hopefully that should be enough to keep them from killing each other. We've got a temporary ceasefire in place for the duration of the meet, but still, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be ready for anything.
So, fair warning, this is probably one of the longest missions in the game. It is the tutorial for War of the Chosen content, obviously. And it's split into 3 kind of stages, which is why the squad is cut into groups of 2. There's going to be a couple cutscenes. I'm going to shut up during them, obviously. You don't have to listen to me. But we might be here for a minute, depending on what I decide to do. There's also going to be a lot of explanation for the faction units, as well as some other trivia that I might share. I will share. I'm not. That's gonna happen. Don't worry.
Proceed to the first set of coordinates. Firebrand and the second team will head to the next drop point.
Detecting increasing biological signatures in the area ahead.
Then I'd say we're in the right place. Stay sharp out there today, people. Just because this city was abandoned doesn't mean it's lifeless.
If you are hungry, there's more where that came from. Impressive reflexes, but unnecessary.
Stand down. We're all friends here.
You are safe here. More so than you imagine. We shall see if the same holds true for these skirmishers of yours. Your presence already disturbs them. We must move quickly. My people will take care of this camp. Come.
Uploading the coordinates to the rendezvous point now. We've plotted the most direct route there. We don't know much about the skirmisher contact you'll be meeting other than his name. Mox.
Mox. Praetor Mox. His death squads wiped out entire camps of my people in the first years of the war. You would dare do this?
Pretty sure hands are bloody on both sides of this fight. That's the whole point of this intervention.
Reapers are born in the shadows, in the cold, harsh world that was waiting for us out there. We rely on stealth and long-range attacks, and our marksmen are unmatched by even the best XCOM has to offer.
So, the Reapers. The Reapers use an advanced form of concealment called Shadow, which only has a chance to break after taking actions. Consecutive actions increase the chance of being revealed, while in Shadow, Reapers have increased mobility, and their enemies have smaller detection radii. Reapers are the best stealth/scouting units in the game. They essentially eliminate the need for Rangers to take the concealment line of abilities.
Damaged and dormant all these years, these devices still emit trace elements of unstable radiation. I cannot fathom what they were like in their original function.
We were there, Doctor. You're better off having missed it.
So, Reapers are probably the best faction unit in the game by virtue of their ability to basically sneak around and find out where the enemy is, like, real safely. Anyway, let me introduce you to these nice fellows, who didn't feel like activating right now. Let me just... Yeah, if you guys could kindly play your cutscenes so I'm not sitting here like a dummy.
Rolling.
No more time for regrets. We
There
are
we
not
are.
alone.
Those things, they still look like people.
What was human died years ago. Only the taint of the alien survives now. Where there is one, more will follow. You must not hesitate to destroy them.
Wow, that's unlucky. So, these are the Lost. In essence, they are zombies.
Creatures' true strength lies in their numbers. As you can see, they fall easily. If we are careful with our shots, we will prevail.
So by nature of being zombies, they usually come in very large numbers. To offset this large quantity that they tend to come in, there's a mechanic called headshot chaining. In short, when one of your soldiers kills a Lost unit, they will get another action. This lets you kill a lot of Lost at one time, provided that your attacks A, land and kill the target, and B, deal enough damage to kill the target. If your attacks miss, you don't get this action point, obviously. You also don't get this action point if you use something like a grenade to kill the Lost.
Friends will join you out of rounds myself.
So, even though it may be tempting to just chuck a grenade into a whole group of Lost, it's not gonna work.
These creatures' DNA
I mean, it will
has
work, but
mutated
it's
well
not
beyond what
ideal.
we would classify as human.
Let me correct myself.
Perhaps the result of long-term exposure to the alien radiation from those pods. Though why anyone would subject themselves to that, I cannot imagine.
When the governments fell, millions starved. Many fled to cities such as this to scavenge for food. They did not heed the warnings.
So, a little bit of background lore there. The Lost are the product of people that fled to populated city centers that had been ravaged by...
My people have encountered these beings before. At first, they may appear mindless, but they hear quite well. In great numbers, they can be very deadly.
Yes. People came to ravage city centers in search of supplies, They were in turn exposed to the radiation from like these alien pods that are lurking around the map. All this green goo.
Turn into these things.
Yes. All we can offer them now is a merciful death.
And so they degraded into these zombie-like beings as a result of prolonged alien radiation exposure.
Enemy eliminated. Scanning.
I am trusting you.
Now, the sharpshooter is not exactly geared toward dealing with enemies that come into close range because due to weapon effective ranges, the sniper rifle actually gains less accuracy the closer that a target is. The pistol serves to make up for that weakness. Now, the pistol, again, is super weak, but because it has unlimited ammo, it can theoretically take out an entire swarm of Lost at once if it kills every target. This is where sharpshooters, or at least this is one of the times that sharpshooters, especially gunslinger sharpshooters, really shine.
These creatures are worse even than Advent. They have no cause, no fear. They simply exist. If we do not defeat the aliens soon, we will become little more than they are.
Damn. Almost a whole wipe.
I'm on the move.
So the Lost also yield experience, obviously at a much reduced rate as opposed to killing Advent soldiers. So it is theoretically possible to sit here and farm Lost to rank up or level up your soldiers. Ranking up is the same function.
Extraction point is close, but looks like these things don't want to make it easy.
It'll just take a while.
We'll make it your pet Advent in time.
Alright, so here we're coming up on the end of the first part of this mission. So as we shoot through some Lost...
We risk all this for pray tell Mox? If he is not what you say he is, I shall kill him myself.
Looking forward to this meeting already.
Anyway, as I was saying, as we come up to the end of this first part of the mission, now will be a good time to mention that little bit of trivia that I alluded to when we started. So XCOM 2 actually has some pretty renowned actors among its cast. In particular, there are a group of actors that have taken roles in War of the Chosen who appeared on a little show called Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now, I am not particularly a huge Star Trek fan,
I need more ammunition.
but I love The Next Generation.
The wind must have picked up.
So, the leader of the Reapers, Konstantin Volkov, or Volk, is voiced by none other than Riker, Jonathan Frakes. Elena is Counselor Deanna Troi. The actress's name escapes me at this very moment, but if you have any familiarity with The Next Generation, you'll know who I'm talking about. If you don't, let's just say that Counselor Troi was a bit of a different character than Elena, so to hear her playing this kind of role is pretty amusing. So, nice bonus if you're a Star Trek fan.
No more creatures on approach.
For now.
Then let's not linger here. Head to the evac coordinates now.
They are not the only actors from The Next Generation to make an appearance in this game.
I am to obey.
Actually,
for years my people hunted his kind. For years we survived. Now you risk everything for your dreams of peace.
If you haven't noticed, the aliens have been kicking our planet's ass for the past 20 years. You think maybe it's time we try something else?
If only your speeches could take down these cursed creatures.
Okay. So, as we advance this next stage of the mission, we will meet two more.
You should have a clear path through now. Second squad is already en route to Mox. Proceed to the rendezvous and await their arrival.
Oh.
Marina Sirtis.
We'll be there.
That's the actress's name.